Life is unpredictable. People change, circumstances shift, and nothing remains constant. But if there is one thing that should never change, it is your belief in yourself. Too often, we tie our happiness and success to the actions of others. We wait for someone to support us, to encourage us, or to give us permission to chase our dreams. But let me ask you, how long will you keep waiting? The moment you stop depending on others is the moment you take control of your life. The truth is, no one is responsible for your happiness except you. If you rely on people for validation, what happens when they leave? If you depend on others to lift you up, what happens when they stop? You must be your own anchor. I know life is not always easy. Maybe you have faced failures, heartbreaks, or betrayals, but every challenge you face is a lesson, a teacher guiding you toward becoming stronger and wiser. Stop expecting others to heal your wounds. Be your own healer. And then there's the fear. The fear of what people will say, the fear of rejection, the fear of failing. But tell me, what is worse? Living a life controlled by fear or breaking free and creating your own destiny? You don't need approval. You don't need validation. The only person you need to believe in is yourself. You are not weak. You are not incomplete. You are not less than anyone. You are strong, whole, and capable of achieving greatness. The day you realize this is the day your life will truly begin. So stop depending on others. Stand tall, take charge, and rise, because you are enough. Self-reliance is the foundation of true strength. It is the ability to stand on your own, to trust yourself, and to believe that you are enough. Too often, people seek validation, happiness, and success from external sources, believing that their worth is determined by others. They wait for approval, support, or encouragement before taking action. But the moment you start depending on others to define your value, you give away your power. You allow others to control your emotions, your decisions, and your life. True strength does not come from external validation. It comes from within. Relying on others for happiness is a dangerous habit. When you allow your mood to be dictated by how others treat you, you become vulnerable to disappointment. People change, circumstances shift, and life is unpredictable. If your happiness is attached to someone else's words or actions, what happens when they stop giving you the validation you crave? You are left feeling empty, unworthy, and lost. But when you cultivate happiness from within, no external force can take it away from you. You do not need someone to remind you that you are valuable. You already know your worth. You do not need compliments to feel beautiful or smart. You believe in yourself, regardless of what anyone says. This inner strength is what keeps you stable even in the face of criticism or rejection. Similarly, success should never be dependent on others. Many people delay chasing their dreams because they are waiting for someone to support them, to guide them, or to give them permission. But waiting is a trap. If you keep waiting for the right circumstances or for people to believe in you, you might never start. No one is responsible for making your dreams come true except you. If you want success, you must work for it, fight for it, and believe in yourself even when no one else does. Some of the greatest achievers in history started alone. They did not have a crowd cheering for them at the beginning. They did not wait for approval. They took the first step, even when it was difficult, and that is what made all the difference. Depending on others for validation also makes you lose confidence in yourself. When you constantly seek reassurance from others, you stop trusting your own decisions. You start doubting yourself, always looking for someone else's opinion before making a move. This dependency weakens your ability to think independently and take responsibility for your own life. But when you learn to trust yourself, you gain a sense of freedom. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You no longer wait for others to approve of your choices. You develop the courage to stand by your decisions, knowing that your intuition and experience are enough to guide you. People often seek validation because they fear rejection. They want to be accepted, loved, and appreciated. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be acknowledged, but the problem arises when your entire sense of self-worth depends on others' approval. If your confidence is based on how many people praise you, then a single criticism can break you. If your self-esteem is built on external compliments, then one negative comment can destroy your confidence. True self-reliance means knowing that your worth is not determined by others. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You do not need everyone to like you. What matters is that you respect yourself, believe in your abilities, and stand strong, regardless of what others say. Another reason why people struggle with self-reliance is fear. The fear of failure, the fear of making mistakes, and the fear of not being good enough. They depend on others to guide them because they are afraid of making the wrong decisions. But failure is a part of growth. Mistakes are valuable lessons. If you are constantly relying on someone else to lead the way, you will never learn how to navigate life on your own. True strength comes from facing your fears, learning from your experiences, and developing resilience. The more you trust yourself, the more you grow. The more you take responsibility for your own actions, the more confident you become. Strength is built through challenges, and self-reliance is the key to overcoming them. Many people also fall into the trap of emotional dependency. They feel incomplete without someone to lean on. They believe that they need someone else to make them feel loved, secure, or happy. But emotional dependency often leads to disappointment. No one can truly complete you. No one can always be there to lift you up. If your emotional stability depends on another person, you are giving them power over your feelings. But when you become emotionally independent, you free yourself from this burden. You learn to find comfort within yourself. You become your own source of strength, and that is what makes you unshakable. Self-reliance is not about isolation. It does not mean you should never seek help or connect with others. Instead, it means that you are strong enough to stand on your own, even when no one is there to support you. It means that your happiness, success, and confidence come from within, not from the approval of others. When you stop depending on others, you become unstoppable. You realize that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. You embrace your own power, trust yourself, and create a life that is not controlled by external circumstances. True strength comes from within. And the moment you believe that, you become invincible. Life is full of challenges, and no one is exempt from struggles. At some point, everyone faces difficulties, be it failure, heartbreak, loss, or disappointment. But while some see these hardships as reasons to give up, others recognize them as opportunities for growth. Every struggle carries a lesson. Every setback has something to teach, and every moment of pain can be transformed into strength. The difference lies in how one chooses to see and respond to adversity. Instead of expecting others to lift you up, relying on external support, or waiting for circumstances to improve, true strength comes from embracing struggles as teachers and using them as stepping stones to build yourself. Difficulties are often seen as obstacles, but in reality, they are the very experiences that shape character. A person who has never faced failure never truly understands resilience. A person who has never known struggle does not develop inner strength. Every hardship forces growth. It pushes limits, tests patience, and teaches valuable lessons that comfort never could. When things go smoothly, there is little reason to change or improve. But when life throws challenges, one is compelled to adapt, think differently, and become stronger. Struggles create opportunities for self-discovery and transformation. They reveal weaknesses, expose fears, and bring hidden potential to light. The process may be uncomfortable, but it is necessary for growth. Pain has a way of revealing truths that comfort often hides. It forces self-reflection, making one question priorities, beliefs, and direction in life. A failure can be devastating, but it also offers a chance to reassess goals and strategies. A betrayal may be painful, but it can teach the importance of self-worth and choosing the right people. A loss may feel unbearable, but it reminds one to cherish what truly matters. Hardships are lessons wrapped in discomfort, and those who embrace them instead of resisting them gain wisdom, resilience, and clarity. Relying on others to overcome struggles often leads to disappointment. While support from friends or family can be comforting, it is ultimately up to the individual to rise above difficulties. No one else can fight personal battles or learn lessons meant for them. Waiting for someone to rescue or fix things only prolongs suffering. The true path to strength is through self-reliance, learning to navigate challenges independently and trusting in one's ability to overcome them. Growth does not happen when someone else carries the burden. It happens when one faces hardships head-on and learns to endure. Struggles are also a test of resilience. They reveal how much a person can endure, how deeply they believe in themselves, and how determined they are to keep going. Those who give up easily miss the lessons hidden within their difficulties, while those who persist develop an unshakable mindset. Resilience is not something a person is born with. It is built through experience, through falling and getting back up repeatedly. The more one faces struggles with courage, the stronger they become. What once seemed unbearable eventually becomes just another challenge to overcome. Adversity also teaches adaptability. Life does not always go as planned, and those who cannot adjust are left struggling. The ability to pivot, to find new solutions, and to stay open to change is crucial for success. Many of the most successful people in the world have faced multiple failures before achieving their goals. What set them apart was not the absence of hardship, but their ability to learn, adapt, and try again. Challenges force creative thinking, encourage problem solving, and teach the importance of persistence. Every setback is a redirection, an opportunity to reassess and improve. One of the greatest lessons struggles teach is self-belief. When a person overcomes a challenge on their own, they gain confidence in their abilities. They realize that they are capable, strong, and resilient. This confidence becomes the foundation for future success. Each time a difficulty is faced and conquered, self-trust grows. Doubt begins to fade, replaced by the knowledge that no matter what comes, they have the strength to handle it. This is why struggles should not be feared or avoided, but embraced. They are the training ground for greatness, shaping individuals into the best versions of themselves. Hardships also foster gratitude. When everything comes easily, it is easy to take things for granted. But when someone has to fight for success, work through difficulties, and overcome pain, they develop a deeper appreciation for life. They learn to value the simple things, to be grateful for progress, and to recognize the beauty in small victories. Gratitude shifts perspective, turning struggles into valuable experiences rather than burdens. It allows a person to see how far they have come and to take pride in their growth. While struggles may be painful, they are never meaningless. Every challenge carries a lesson, every hardship strengthens character, and every failure is a step towards success. The key is to stop viewing difficulties as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Instead of waiting for someone to lift the weight, one must learn to carry it themselves. Instead of looking for an easy way out, one must embrace the challenge and grow through it. True strength is not found in comfort, but in the ability to face struggles, learn from them, and emerge stronger than before. Happiness is not something that can be given by others, nor is it something that can be found in external achievements or material possessions. It is a state of mind, a way of seeing the world, and a choice that one makes every single day. Many people spend their lives searching for happiness in relationships, wealth, or recognition, believing that once they achieve a certain goal or receive approval from others, they will finally be happy. However, true happiness does not come from outside sources. It comes from within. No one else is responsible for making another person happy, just as no external situation can guarantee lasting fulfillment. It is something that must be cultivated through self-acceptance, gratitude, and a positive mindset. One of the biggest misconceptions about happiness is the belief that it is dependent on circumstances. People often think that once they have the perfect job, the ideal partner, or financial success, they will finally feel complete. But this way of thinking places happiness in the future, always just out of reach. The truth is, if happiness is based on external factors, it will always be temporary. Circumstances change, people change, and life is unpredictable. A job can be lost, relationships can end, and material possessions can disappear. If happiness is attached to these things, then it will constantly be at risk. The only way to experience lasting happiness is to create it internally, independent of what is happening in the outside world. Self-acceptance is one of the most powerful foundations of happiness. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy, believing they are not good enough, smart enough, or successful enough. They seek validation from others, hoping that if someone approves of them, they will finally feel worthy. But relying on external validation is a never-ending cycle, because no amount of praise or recognition will ever be enough if a person does not believe in their own worth. True happiness comes from embracing oneself fully, with all strengths and imperfections. It means accepting past mistakes, understanding that flaws do not define worth, and choosing to love oneself despite imperfections. When a person reaches a place of self-acceptance, they no longer feel the need to chase happiness from others. They become content with who they are, and that contentment creates a deep and lasting sense of joy. Gratitude is another key to inner happiness. In a world that constantly pushes people to want more, it is easy to focus on what is lacking instead of appreciating what is already present. People often compare themselves to others, feeling unhappy because someone else seems to have more success, more beauty, or a better life. But comparison is a thief of joy. No matter how much a person achieves, there will always be someone who appears to have more. Happiness is not found in having everything. It is found in appreciating what is already there. When a person practices gratitude, they shift their focus from what is missing to what is abundant in their life. They recognize the small joys, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, the beauty of a simple moment. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, filling life with happiness that does not rely on external achievement. A positive mindset plays a crucial role in creating happiness. Challenges and difficulties are a part of life, and no one is immune to hardships. However, happiness is not about avoiding struggles, it is about choosing how to respond to them. A person with a negative mindset sees obstacles as proof that life is unfair, while a person with a positive mindset views them as opportunities for growth. It is not circumstances that determine happiness, but perspective. Even in the darkest moments, there's always something to learn, something to appreciate, and something to hope for. The ability to find light in difficult situations is what separates those who are truly happy from those who are constantly searching for happiness. Many people believe that relationships are the key to happiness, and while love and connection are important, they should not be the sole source of joy. Depending on others to provide happiness places an unfair burden on relationships. No one else can be responsible for making another person feel complete. A partner, a friend, or a family member can bring joy, but they cannot fill an internal void. When happiness comes from within, relationships become healthier because they are based on sharing happiness rather than seeking it. A person who is happy on their own can fully enjoy connections with others without fear of losing their sense of self. Happiness also requires letting go of control. Many people become unhappy because they try to control everything around them, how others behave, how life unfolds, and what the future holds. But life is unpredictable, and the more one tries to control it, the more frustrated they become. Happiness comes from accepting what cannot be changed and focusing on what can be controlled, one's own attitude, choices, and responses. When a person stops trying to force life to be a certain way and instead embraces each moment as it is, they find a sense of peace that cannot be shaken by external events. True happiness is not a destination, it is a way of living. It is not something to be chased, but something to be created in the present moment. It does not come from money, success, or other people. It comes from self-acceptance, gratitude, and a positive perspective. It is a choice that must be made daily, regardless of circumstances. When happiness is cultivated from within, it becomes unbreakable, unaffected by the ups and downs of life. It is then that one truly understands that happiness is not something to be found, it is something to be lived. The fear of judgment is one of the biggest barriers that keep people from pursuing their dreams. Too often individuals hold themselves back because they are waiting for someone else to tell them that they are good enough, talented enough, or ready. They seek approval from family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers before they allow themselves to take action. But the truth is, no one else can give permission to live a fulfilling life. Waiting for approval is a trap that keeps people stuck, afraid to move forward and hesitant to take risks. The moment one stops seeking validation and starts believing in themselves, they unlock the freedom to chase their dreams and achieve their full potential. One of the main reasons people seek approval is the deep-rooted fear of rejection. They worry about what others will think, how they will be perceived, and whether they will be accepted. This fear is paralyzing because it creates self-doubt. Instead of focusing on what they truly want, they become preoccupied with how their choices will be received by others. They hesitate, overthink, and second-guess their abilities. But the truth is, no matter what a person does, there will always be critics. There will always be people who do not agree, who do not support, and who have something negative to say. If one allows fear of judgment to dictate their actions, they'll never break free from limitations. Instead of trying to please everyone, it is far more empowering to embrace individuality and pursue personal goals with confidence. Another reason people wait for approval is the belief that they need validation to confirm their worth. They think that if someone else approves of their dreams, it must mean they are on the right path. But relying on external validation is dangerous because it gives away personal power. When self-worth is dependent on other people's opinions, it becomes fragile. A single criticism can shatter confidence, and a lack of encouragement can cause doubt. But when a person learns to trust their own vision, they become unstoppable. They no longer need others to tell them they are capable because they already believe it themselves. True confidence does not come from outside approval. It comes from within. Waiting for permission to pursue dreams also leads to regret. Many people spend years hesitating, telling themselves that they will take action once they have more experience, once they receive support, or once someone gives them the green light. But time does not wait. Opportunities pass, and dreams fade when they are put on hold for too long. The most successful people are not those who waited for approval, but those who took bold steps despite fear and uncertainty. They did not wait for someone to validate their ideas or reassure them that they were making the right choice. They trusted their instincts, took risks, and created their own path. The longer one waits for approval, the more they delay their own growth and success. Chasing approval also limits creativity and authenticity. When a person constantly seeks validation, they often adjust their dreams to fit what others expect of them. They water down their ideas, hold back their true potential, and follow conventional paths because they fear standing out. But true success comes from embracing uniqueness. The world does not need more people who conform. It needs people who dare to be different, who bring fresh perspectives, and who have the courage to express themselves fully. The most influential figures in history were not those who sought approval, but those who challenged norms, took risks, and believed in their vision even when no one else did. It means believing that even without external validation, one's dreams are valid. It means believing that even without external validation, one's dreams are valid. It means believing that even without external validation, one's dreams are valid. It means believing that even without external validation, one's dreams are valid. It means believing that even without external validation, one's dreams are valid. It means believing that even without external validation, it means recognizing that setbacks and criticism are part of the journey, but they do not define the outcome. The only way to truly move forward is to take that first step, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when others doubt, and even when fear whispers that it is too soon. The perfect moment will never come. The only time to act is now. Releasing the need for approval also strengthens resilience. When a person no longer depends on others for validation, they become more independent, confident, and fearless. They learn to trust their instincts, make decisions without hesitation, and handle criticism without letting it shake their self-belief. This resilience becomes a powerful force, allowing them to push through challenges and keep going even when obstacles arise. They stop measuring success by how many people approve of them and start defining it by their own standards. This shift in mindset is what sets apart those who dream from those who achieve. At the end of the day, approval is an illusion. There is no universal measure of success, and no single person can decide whether a dream is worth pursuing. The only person who can truly give permission is oneself. The moment one stops waiting for approval and starts taking action, they reclaim their power. They step into their potential, embrace their purpose, and create a life that is not dictated by others' opinions. The world belongs to those who dare to believe in themselves, who move forward despite fear, and who refuse to let the need for validation hold them back. From the moment people are born, society conditions them to believe that they need something or someone else to be complete. Whether it is the idea that a person must find their better half in a romantic relationship, or the notion that success is only valid if it is recognized by others, the message is clear. On their own, they are not enough. But this belief is false. Every individual is already whole, already worthy, and already capable of achieving greatness without needing external validation or completion. The sooner one realizes this truth, the sooner they can break free from the limitations that hold them back and fully step into their potential. Many people spend their lives looking for something outside of themselves to fill an imagined void. They search for love, approval, or success, hoping that once they find it, they will finally feel complete. They chase achievements, believing that a title, a degree, or financial stability will give them the confidence they lack. They seek relationships, believing that another person will give them the self-worth they struggle to find within themselves. But no matter how much they achieve or how many people surround them, there is always a lingering feeling of not enough. This is because completeness does not come from external sources. It comes from within. No job, no amount of money, no relationship, and no level of fame can provide the sense of wholeness that must first be found internally. One of the biggest obstacles to believing in one's own worth is comparison. People often measure themselves against others, believing that they must reach a certain standard before they can be considered enough. They look at social media where others seem to have perfect lives and feel inadequate. They see friends or colleagues achieving milestones and wonder why they are not further ahead. But comparison is a trap. It creates the illusion that worth is determined by external factors. The truth is that everyone is on a different path, and self-worth is not something that can be measured against someone else's journey. Each individual is unique with their own strengths, talents, and purpose. Instead of looking outward for validation, the focus should be on embracing what already exists within. Self-acceptance is the foundation of recognizing that one is enough, Many people believe they must change, improve, or fix themselves before they can feel worthy. They dwell on their mistakes, their flaws, and their insecurities, believing that these things make them unworthy of love, success, or happiness. But being human means being imperfect. Growth is important, but self-worth is not something that needs to be earned. It is already present. True confidence comes from embracing both strengths and weaknesses and understanding that flaws do not define a person's value. Perfection is an illusion, and those who wait until they are perfect before believing they are enough will be waiting forever. Another important realization is that happiness and fulfillment do not depend on anyone else. Many people believe they need a partner to feel complete, as if they are only half of a whole until they find someone to love them. But a relationship should be a partnership, not a solution to self-doubt. Depending on another person for a sense of worth places an unfair burden on that relationship and leads to disappointment. True happiness comes from being content with oneself first. When a person recognizes that they are already whole, they enter relationships from a place of confidence rather than need. They do not rely on someone else to make them feel loved because they already love themselves. Believing in one's own worth also means recognizing personal power. Many people hold themselves back because they believe they need someone else to guide them, support them, or give them permission to pursue their dreams. They doubt their own abilities, waiting for validation before they take action. But every person has the potential to achieve greatness on their own. The most successful individuals are not those who waited for approval, but those who believed in themselves even when no one else did. They trusted their vision, took risks, and moved forward despite uncertainty. Every person has the ability to do the same, but it starts with the belief that they are enough. Letting go of self-doubt is a crucial part of this journey. Many people have an inner voice that constantly tells them they are not good enough, smart enough, or strong enough. This voice often stems from past experiences, childhood criticism, societal expectations, or personal failures. But just because this voice exists does not mean it is telling the truth. The mind can be trained to think differently, to replace negative self-talk with affirmations of strength and worth. The more one practices self-belief, the more natural it becomes. The words a person tells themselves have immense power, and shifting those words from doubt to confidence can change everything. Living with the belief that one is enough leads to a sense of freedom. It means no longer seeking validation from others, no longer waiting for the right moment to chase dreams, and no longer feeling unworthy of love or success. It allows a person to fully embrace their potential, take risks, and pursue goals without fear. It means walking into any situation with the knowledge that nothing outside of oneself determines worth. This mindset creates resilience, allowing one to handle setbacks without questioning their value. Recognizing that one is enough is not about arrogance or complacency. It is about self-acceptance, confidence, and inner strength. It is about understanding that worth is not something that needs to be proven or earned. It is already there. The moment a person stops looking for external validation and starts believing in themselves is the moment they truly begin to live. They no longer seek permission, they no longer wait for approval, and they no longer doubt their ability to create a meaningful and fulfilling life. They simply move forward, knowing deep within that they are enough. Thank you.